What is your little thing, would you say? Is it the conversations that you hold? What's your little thing?
My little thing that does what?
What's your little thing? Like she said, my little thing is planting trees. What's yours?
To fix the nation.
Yes.
Yeah, I could say my little thing is practicing openness in terms of discussions, being vulnerable. You know, I think that I could say that would be my little thing. Yeah, being vulnerable about money and the topics that it is that I want to put out there. So yeah. Without overthinking that,
yeah, that's really good because people have been afraid to talk about money, right? Maybe that's where we can start. There was it was shrouded in fear, suspicion, lack of knowledge, and sometimes when you don't know, you're ashamed to admit that you don't know. How did you see an opportunity or a gap to say, you know what, I want to dive into this, learn, teach, share, because I can see this gap? What was that gap? And how did you then come in and say, I want to play my part? Okay,
before I say anything, I have to be very, very clear that I come from a point of privilege. How I grew up is not how very many Kenyans grew up. And you need to say some of these things before you start speaking because you could have offended a few people. You have to give context, okay? Years ago, during COVID, I was doom scrolling quite a bit. And I realized I'm spending so much time on various applications and it was not adding value to me. Years ago, also in employment, I realized that nobody spoke about money the way it needed to be spoken about, and I wanted to be wealthy. So I realized there was a gap in the market. Everybody's spending time here, but there's no value being added. So I started creating content around healthy and fun money conversations, because that's the thing about money. You think about it, and it's very drab, it's very constricting, it's very, tense. And that actually even goes back to show how you grew up, because how you relate with money really goes back to how you grew up, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. So I just noticed a gap, and I was like, let's talk about it. It was very selfish. I wanted to make money, I wanted to be rich, I wanted to be wealthy. So I turned my online platforms into learning centers, and voila, here we are a few years later. I've become Miss Money Monday.
Miss Money Monday.
It's awesome.